So, in continuation with from yesterday, like previous topic, so today we are going to see regarding how to handle flat file which is of fixed width. So, when we have a requirement to read fixed width files, so what are the things which we need to configure so that Informatica can read and then output it to the target. So the major difference between delimited and flat fixed width is delimited has a separator. It could be a pipe, it could be a comma, it could be a tilde. Example is, let's suppose I have column 1 which is separated by pipe here, column 3, and my data also, this is my header first row. The second row will be like my data, which is like 1 5 ABC 5 XYZ. The same thing. So this is a delimited, means each and every column, two columns are separated by a separator. In the previous case it was pipe, now I am separating with a comma. It as in, so it depends on the requirement, as in, okay, why should I use pipe, why should I not use comma. I mean, in case your data has comma, to avoid misinterpreting data, it is better to use as a delimiter which is not used in the data. So usually pipe is something which is not commonly used in the data. In certain cases pipe also may exist in data. So in that case we go for something called tilde or any combination of control characters which can basically separate. So now, since the topic is more on fixed width, well, let's see how fixed width, uh, like how to read the data, how to basically configure the fixed width related configurations in Informatica. So the major difference is with respect to fixed width uh, and delimiter is, like we have seen, fixed width has a fixed number of characters, so it does not have a separator. Let's suppose I have a column called employee ID, which is 4 characters. So in our case, in case of fixed width, usually we don't have column headers. So let's suppose now I am taking employee ID, which is of 2 character length. So my employee ID, first employee ID is having employee ID 1, but according to the as in standards, since it is a fixed width and the length of the column is 2 characters, I need to give an extra space, followed by the data will be having second column data. Let's suppose second column is having some employee name. Let's suppose the name of the employee is some John F. Kennedy, and the length of the column is somewhere around 15 characters, let's suppose. So if this is 15 characters, then it is perfectly fine. If it is not 15 characters, we should leave the empty trailing spaces to make it 15. So here it is 4 characters, 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. I will leave an empty space to make it 15. So I have got 2 columns in place. Now I'll have the third column, which is age. So probably it is age is usually a 2-digit thing. Whoever is an employee, usually single digit, a person who is having single digit age is very less probable. So so the person's age is somewhere around 28, which is a 2 character thing, as in two length is 2. Then it could be a city, which is probably I'll take New York, and then country, so US I'll give. So the same thing for second employee ID. Again, since it is a 2 character, I need to leave an extra space. Then followed by the name of the employee, Probably I'll pick an some name like I'll just have Henry M. So how many like I'll give an trailing spaces till I found the age. So these are trailing spaces. So again, his age is 54, and he is working from different location. Again, it is US. So again, now I have employee ID 11. I consider I don't have any employee IDs in between 2 to 11. Now my employee IDs, whatever I have is 11. If you ask me why directly 11, I could probably the remaining people would have resigned and switched to new company. For tracking purpose, we usually leave those employee IDs. So again, 11 now. So again, his age is around. Let's suppose he is from Detroit. So I have if we see the city names, at least in this case is somewhere around 9 characters. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, but in case of Detroit, it is only 7. So I need to leave two spaces, one space, two space. Then I'll give country name US. So it goes on like this. The list goes on like this. I will save this file in some C drive itself. C drive Informatica under the tutorials folder, which will be present under server tutorials. I'll say flat file fixed width dot. I can give any extension dot txt. I am taking. So now this definition need to be imported. So first of all, since it is a source, I need to import source. Import from file. I need to browse. So here, all files, fixed width. So if you see previously, in last class we were using delimited because we were having separators. So in this case, we cannot go ahead with delimited because we don't have a common separator which can actually distinguish two different columns. So we need to go for fixed width. So the field aligns the space with spaces between each field. So the alignment is we will have a fixed number of characters. So if there is any shortage, we will have an additional spaces. So that's how the fields are aligned. So if we see we have first column it is properly aligned, second column properly aligned, third column, fourth column, fifth column. So these are based on the alignment. So I can choose here. So this is my first column. This is my second column. This is my third column. Fourth, probably, yeah, 1 minute. I can double click so that it will delete. So this is how, so to create a break line. So I have created a break line rather than me providing the lengths manually. So you can provide them also, but you can use a column break also based on whatever is visible. So my first name is employee ID. I am giving employee ID. So length is 2. It recognized it as numeric. Second one is name, third one is age, fourth one is city, fifth one is state, or maybe country earlier. So now I'll have it text, since it is a fixed bit, let it be text everything. We can convert those in the end as we read it. So let it be text only, all the data types. So now we have the definition in place. So the best way is we can right click and then read also. So based on this preview data, so if we have to browse the file, and then when we try to view the data, it will tell us whether the data is as per the configurations or not. If there is any data which is moving to other columns, so that's how we can detect our configuration has some issue. So in this case, what I'll do is, so my file is present in tutorials. I need to change it to all files, choose FF fixed weight. Now I click on open. It is properly distinguishing. We can remove the trailing like left and right spaces using L-trim R-trim. So however, it is properly reading. What I'll do is I'll try to add a column. I'll try to make some mistake. What I'll do is I'll make some, let me save it. Let's see what happens. Refresh. We see, because we designated only 2 characters, it will read, and then after 2 characters it will spill to the next column. So in this case my definition is not correct. So this is how we can recognize. So it basically goes with length. So first 2 characters will be first column, third to some, so if it is 15 characters, so 3 to 15 means 3 to 17 characters will be my column 2. Then next 2 characters, 17 to 19 will be, 18, 19 will be age. Then 19 to again 9. 19 to 9 means 20 to 27 will be, 28 will be city. Then next 2 characters is country. So likewise it goes. It never goes by, so it basically goes by what is the position at which the previous column is configured, from that +1 to the length of the column. So let's suppose employee ID, in this case employee ID is configured as length 2. So what happens is anything beyond 2 will be spilled to column 2. So whatever is coming from third position will be displayed in column 2. So third position, till how many characters? We have configured it to be having 15 characters. So 3 to 15, as in 3 plus 15 is 18 characters. So it goes to 3 up to 17. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is nothing but, so till that position, it goes to second column. Then again, anything beyond that will be spilled to third column. Likewise it goes. So it will be like at what position the previous column is ending +1 to the length of the column. How much, what is the length of that specific column? Best example is, so employee ID length is 2. So from 3, again 15 characters will be second column. From that, again 2 columns will be designated for column 3. From that position, column 1 will be 2. Column 2 starts from 3, and then how many characters? 15 characters. So 3 to 10 is 8 characters. 8 characters, again we need another 7 characters. So 17. So 3 to 17 will be populated in 8 plus 9 is 17. So that's how, okay, not 17. We need only 15 characters, right? 8 here and then 8 here. 2 plus 5, 7. Yeah, perfect. So 15 plus 2 is 17. Yeah. 3 to 17 will be stored in column 2. Then column 3 will be having 18 and 19. Column 4, again 9 characters from 20 to 28. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So 21 to 28 is 8 characters plus 1 character here. So which will be 9 characters in column 4. Then column 5 would be 29 and 32 characters. So this is the proper thing. So it does not go by the delimiter. It goes by only the length. As in starting, as in at what is the length at which the previous column is ending plus 1 to the number of characters designated for that specific column. So I was able to configure it properly. When I read the file, when I preview the data, it is coming as per what I have configured. So when I open, I am able to see properly. But usually what happens with fixed width is we have an additional overhead of doing an L-trim R-trim because we cannot have all the data to be having same length as in fixed. So whatever we are fixing, let's suppose employee ID we have fixed as 2 characters. We cannot ensure that all the employee IDs will be having 2 characters because there could be some employees in between 1 to 9. So they will be having a length 1. And so in those cases, we are adding an extra space. So that has to be removed. So we will see how that will be removed. So I am adding that flat file to my, let me create a mapping m underscore flat file employee. So every source will be associated with a source qualifier. Now what I'll do is I'll have an expression capable of doing the trim as well as format conversion. So usually what I'll do is I'll have all the columns in place. Then I'll have the same set of columns again. I'll just remove the links. Let me remove the suffixes. Make it O underscore. These all will not have any inputs. I'll have a transformation logic in place for these columns. Output ports, usually something whatever we are defining in the expression or derived columns or something prefixed with O underscore. So this is just for proper identification when we are troubleshooting. So if we have this input checkbox checked, then we will not be able to derive any logic. So we need to uncheck this input, then we will be able to derive or transform the corresponding column. The employee ID, I want to make it as an integer or numeric column. So I am changing the data type to integer. So I can have name to be string only, which is of 15 characters, still should be fine. Age, again, it is a numeric integer, I'll specify. City, 10 characters, yeah, this is fine. Again, country, I am okay with that. So what I need to do here is employee ID. The 2 things I need to do, L-trim as well as R-trim. My spaces in the file can exist in the left side or right side also. So to be on safer side, we are doing L-trim, R-trim. Now we have something called toInteger function. If you are not familiar in the functions, all functions, if you expand, if you scroll down, or the other best option is go to conversion, toInteger, select toInteger, it will specify the usage. So you specify the column and flag as in if it need to be converted to an integer. So default is uh, it rounds the decimal portion, so which means it will not have anything. So the flag is an optional, it is not a mandatory. By default it is a true, so it actually truncates the decimal portion, and also it rounds. So I am using a 2 integer. We can refresh and we can validate, which will say whether our expression logic is correct or not. And we can also test the logic here in the value. Let's suppose I am giving space 12 space. So after trimming, so I am doing 1 and space. Since I designated 2 characters, so it is taking only 2 spaces. So when I evaluate it, it gives me 1 without any space. When I give something like space 1, when I evaluate, I will not have space. We can pick any value. Space 9, because I am doing an ltrim rtrim, so it is removing the spaces. Ltrim is used to remove the spaces from the left, rtrim is used to remove spaces from the right. Now what if our data is containing so one important thing is, whenever we are doing an 2 integer, as long as it is a number, it will have proper number in the output after applying 2 integer. Let's suppose I am populating a and evaluated, it will show 0. Any character you specify which is not a number will be populated by default as 0 if you are applying 2 integer, not ltrim and rtrim. If you remove 2 integer, it will still be that only. Since I have modified, it is asking me to refresh it. So if I do G, it shows me G only. But as soon as I am applying 2 integer, anything which is not numeric will be converted into a 0. So this is the, so integer perfect. So name, I just want to, since the output is a string, so I will just make it ltrim rtrim. If you were not familiar, one thing I missed is, so this name is nothing but my input port, whichever is coming from my source qualifier. I can validate this to make sure that the expression logic is valid. Against age, the same concept. We will be performing ltrim, rtrim, then 2 integer, because the output, expected output is an integer. City, same way. The only reason why we are doing ltrim rtrim is, let's suppose I am populating a delimited file. If I don't remove spaces, the trailing spaces will exist. So though we have manually given spaces in the input, since we are doing these transformations, if we populate the file, we will see that it will not have any spaces, trailing spaces. So I am saving. So one more important thing is, in the expression, in the top ports we are not using. In those cases, we can disable the output ports because these are not being used. I have disabled. That is a clean practice so that we will not confused by, as in we may have both input and output ports, both of them, like in this case employee ID. So this is just to avoid mapping the direct input port when the actual intention is to populate the transformed input. So in this case, if the input port is not mapped, it will not allow us to map it to the target. Anyways, now the requirement is we need to create the target definition. So I will just drag it and do some change. So here it is a fixed width. I'll change it to delimited. My lengths are same. My definitions are different though. I am populating it to column as in pipe delimited. So I'll change the data types here also. Anyways, with regards to file, it doesn't matter. It does not validate the data types much. So name is integer. This is integer. Rest all are string. Perfect. I'll click on apply. Okay. Save it. The target definition will be inserted in the targets hierarchy. So I'll just drag this. If I am not interested in this name, I can rename that also. I got the definition renamed. I can delete it and then add it back. So in the previous case, when we rename, do we really need to delete the definition and add it? Not at all required. Let's suppose in this case. So what happens is in this case, see, we will make it some SC underscore T underscore employee. My the name whatever we have done is we will be reflecting here. If you see in the target, though it is an employee, when we double click the definition of the target table, it is still referring this. So the name only temporarily is this. We can always rename the transformation name. However, what the intention, what I want to convey is, it will still be pointing to the target. So renaming will not do anything. Another way is, let's suppose I'll try to add one column. I'll say dummy. So though the names are different, since it is referring to the same thing, when I save it, we will see the dummy column in the target definition. One more important thing is, we cannot add or delete or modify any definition of a column directly in the mapping tab. So these all are non-editable. In case if we need to change the data type or change the length or change the name of the column or even add a column or remove a column, that has to be done from the target designer. So these are 4 tabs in the Informatica: source analyzer, where we create the source definition; target designer, where we are going to define the target definition; transformation developer, when we are creating a reusable transformation such as sequence generator or so usually it is a sequence generator, but there could be some other things also. We can create a reusable transformation. Let's suppose best example is we can have an expression where the expression logic is being used in multiple places. So rather than performing the same logic everywhere, it is good to actually do it in one, as in create a reusable transformation and use it in all places. What is the advantage of it is, if there is any change, we can actually change in the reusable transformation in the transformation developer, and it will be reflected in all the mappings where it is used. However, if we are not using a reusable transformation, the change need to be done in all the references where that logic is being referred. So sometimes it is easy to understand, but whoever is maintaining it will be difficult, because one is it is time consuming task, and another thing, if the person who is maintaining is not aware of something, then probably it creates an inconsistency. So this is Maplet Designer. So if we have a group of transformations to be reused in multiple mappings rather than using the same transformations in all the mappings, so we can club them into a maplet and then invoke that maplet within the mapping designer. So finally, it is a mapping designer where we are going to develop our transformation logic between source to target. So yeah, now we have, so the intention is we will be reading from a flat file, which is a fixed width. We are transforming the data as in removing the spaces and then changing the data types and finally loading into a flat file, which is a delimited. So the intention is to obtain a data written into a flat file, which is a delimited, and the delimiter to be populated is a pipe. So now, since we are done with the mapping, we need to configure where the file need to be read from and where it needs to be written to. So we'll need to add this session, which will basically hold such information. Since we are having two mappings, so both of them will be displayed. But we are interested in the mapping employee. We want to load the employee data. I'm choosing the mapping employee and then connect the so these two does not have any dependencies. So this is what is something which can be done in workflow manager. We can set the dependencies as in if this employee data should be loaded only after loading. If the employee data should be loaded after only the customer, then we can use this sort of dependency. So in this case, unless customer is loaded or unless customer workflow session is executed, whether it could be say success or failure, it will not trigger employee. We will discuss in detail what can be done in the upcoming sessions. So now we need to configure the properties for the mapping. So the configurations involve what is my source location, what is the file name, and then finally where we are trying to load and what is the target file name to be. So under server tutorials, copy address as text, replacing this. This is a direct file output, as in we are directly reading from a file. So it is a direct mode. Source file type is direct. And this file name is correct. Now I am going to, so let it load into a target directory, but we need a header. So I am saying use the output field names. Output field names is whatever is there in target definition, you display them as a column names. So it is showing employee1.txt, but I want to load it as employee.txt in the target files location in the infra share directory. So done. I'm saving it. Then I'm going to just trigger this task. When we use start task, it will trigger only that particular session. So if it's, so monitor again, it is going to give us runtime statistics. So 3 records are read and 3 records are loaded. Let's see. So we have only 3 records here and 3 were loaded. Let's see the target files location and see how the data is appearing or written in the file. So it is employee. Perfect. Now it is properly delimited. Let me just pull that here. So we can see the data is not having a spaces. Whatever is integer. Okay. One thing what had happened is, so for this line, it was displaying, it was kind of slipping to some other line. Let me just see. Why was that happening like that? So U and then S is coming. Let me just clear this off and then run that again. Okay, it got succeeded. Let me see. No. Only let me add extra line. Clear this off and see. Perfect. So the problem is somehow S is coming to the next line. Okay, I kind of understood. So what was actually happening is this 54, I might have not given proper number of spaces. Uh, let it be 1 second, we'll see. If the data is not properly populated, it leads to such issues. 54, yeah, US, Palo Alto. However, why was this coming now? Okay, it is billing. Yeah, I understood this one. I had extra spaces here, so those are considered. Now should be fine. It's a data issue or we populated. So I'm going to run this task again. If you use start workflow, customer also will get triggered. I don't want it to happen. So I'll just select the task and then click on start task. It is loaded now. Now when I see, we are seeing the second line getting populated properly, but again, third line, if we see, the one is properly having, but then again, it is kind of slipping here. Okay. Uh, stem. First two characters is reading properly here. Some issue. You let me refresh. Yeah, now looks okay. Let me run. So we will recreate the definition. So the data is adjusted. So what I'm going to do is just delete this. Then sources, import from file. Okay, it is a fixed width thing. Now my first column is here, second column, third column, fourth column. This is EMPID. This is EMP name. This is age. This is city. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yeah. This is okay. Now let me try to add that. Now I will try to review the data. Okay, it looks fine here. We'll run and then we'll manipulate and see how it behaves. So this is how the data looks like. We can have employee IDs of two digits. So we retained it length 2, otherwise remaining are standardized. Now let's see. Okay, let me try to run. The file was not saved. Okay. My session got changed. I need to refresh the session and then I need to update the source path. Whenever the source or target changes, we delete and add. We need to do the corresponding configurations again back in session. Okay, it says succeeded now. Let me see. Okay, still it is slipping. Okay, I'll do one more thing. Backslash n I am adding and I'll say that is my end of character. I'll edit the definition. Advanced. Number of initial rows to skip. No. Strip trailing blanks. It is line sequential. Line sequential. Line sequential we have done. Let me do that in the session level. It might not reflect here. Set file. Advanced. So it is line sequential. If there are any blanks trailing, I want to trim it off. Yes, those are the things I am doing it here. Perfect now. So that line sequential was the issue. So now we'll try to have one more line with 12. Again, I should not use a space. I can use a space, Henry M. I probably we can use multiple spaces also, as long as we are adding the age correspondingly. Then uh, use Texas, then again US. So now we can see it was properly aligned to two digits. Then again, my name is, which is coming in the second column, third column age, fourth column city. Perfectly fine. So now let me clear this data and then run the workflow session. We should be able to see the appropriate data. Perfect. Now 12 is coming in. So 60 Henry M is recognized as column 2, which is name, then age, then city, then US. The, the thing what had actually happened is we don't have that line sequential thing, and then strip trailing things turned on. So that is the issue. Sometimes, every time we cannot expect the data to be in a line sequential way. So sometimes data can be present in the same line. So in that case, usually at times the data can be like separated without any characters, so like this. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to come to session, open the session. We need to just uncheck that line sequential, and then we need to specify there are no bytes to be skipped. As in, when the last position is read, it will try to consider this thing as a second row. Again, this is my end of second row length. Then the remaining thing will be considered as the, so it holds this complete length is the length of all columns. So after length of the final column is reached, so it will try to consider that as a next column. So if we run in this way, I'm saying don't skip any byte. So now when we run, we will see the same output, but we are going to see another thing also. So it was populating exactly the same when it was actually separated, line separated, as in when the data is first row data is separated by a new line. So now what I am going to say is, so each record is separated by two spaces. This was actually happening when we are doing without that line sequential turned on. So in this case, some data is not a line sequential in this case. So we need to specify skip 2 bytes between two records, between number of bytes to be skipped between records. We have added two spaces. So I am asking remove, as in ignore 2 bytes or 2 characters. So now when we run, it will produce the same output. Same output. I can rerun it again. I saved it. Now when I run, we are going to get the same output. So these are three different use cases which can be, sometimes data can be line sequential, sometimes two records may not have any separation bytes. Sometimes they can give, okay, ignore these many number of bytes. Don't think that it will be always space. They can give something which can basically separate two lines. Anyways, these are of meaningless. So these are something which are going to be ignored by Informatica while reading. So no matter whatever is given, so these are ignored. So when I run the same thing with @ it is going to produce me the same output. because I am ignoring those, skipping those 2 bytes. There we go. So irrespective of the characters used, so 2 bytes, 2 characters will be ignored. And then it will consider the after the 2 characters, the followed by 1 will be the next record. That's how it is going to be.